Good morning, community. Jill here with North Texas Vegetable Gardening, canning recipes, a little bit of everything. We got a tad bit of rain, not much guys, but we'll take whatever we can get. Today we're gonna pressure can our tomatoes, and if you've been watching us for a while, you know that I've been doing a lot of water bath, but I'm gonna pressure can my tomato halves because it seems to preserve the flavor a little bit better because it's less processing time. About 10 minutes on 10 pounds in your pressure canner. Now be sure and check your altitude to make sure that that's correct for your area. We're going to be using our Denali canner. This canner is flat top and glass top stove friendly, and our Denali lids. So you also want to get your other canning utensils together. You want to go ahead and get your jars washed and sterilized. You will need some citric acid and some pickling or canning salt. I have my funnel ready. I have my tongs back there. I got my debubbler and my magnet. Anyway, so we're going to get started here. So what we're going to do is we are going to start off blanching our tomatoes. And the reason why we're going to blanch them because it helps us peel them way easier. And all that means is that you're going to put your tomatoes in some hot water, in a hot water bath, boiling water for a couple of minutes. And then you're going to pop it over here into some cold water. And it helps your skins come off much quicker. And then you can go ahead and pack your jars. We're doing quarts today, and so what you're going to need is you're going to need a half a teaspoon of your citric acid and 1 teaspoon of salt, which is optional, but we're going to go ahead and add our salt. Quick tutorial here on blanching. My water was boiling, and so now I'm going to let them sit in there for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then I'm going to pop them over here in the ice water, and the skins simply come off, guys. I also have some hot water boiling in my tea kettle, because this is what I'll use to top off my jars before I put them in the canner. Each jar has the citric acid and the salt needed. And you want to put 1 to 2 inches of water in your canner and go ahead and let it start heating up slowly. So Greg and I run a small farm here, and we do sell our tomatoes, and we have sold quite a few, but we are having an abundance of them, praise the Lord. And so we want to be sure and preserve all of our harvest as much as we can. You can see the skin just slips off, and now I've gone ahead and put it into my jar, and this is how I'm going to pack these. So you want to pick and use your ripest tomatoes. Now, it's kind of a faux pas to use any that might be bruised or damaged a little bit, but guys, I find that when I do blanch them, I can see that bruised portion and remove it. So I'm not too worried about that. These are still good tomatoes, and I want to use them up. So each jar took, depending on the size of your tomatoes, guys, about 6 to 8 tomatoes. So make sure you have enough jars for however many tomatoes you have. Now we're going to top it off with some hot water. So I'm just going to take my teapot here, and we want to leave an inch head space. And don't forget to debubble. Debubbling is a must. It didn't take very much liquid hot water, guys, because these tomatoes generated enough on their own. Be sure to wipe your rims. You're not only wiping for a good seal, but you're wiping so that you can make sure that there's no cracks or breaks in your jars, because we do reuse our jars. And there will come a time when they might not be reusable due to some cracks. Finger tighten your bands. Load your canner. We have 6 quarts in there. We could have easily gotten 8, but we're going to go ahead and put the lid on, and I'll tell you what to do next. We are locked and loaded. Now with the Denali canner, you do not have to take off your weight to let it vent. It is an automatic venting system. The Denali canner is great for beginners. It has lots of safety features, and so we are locked down. We're going to let it do its self-venting, and then we're going to get up to 10 to 11. I think I'm going to go ahead and do about 11 pounds, so I'm using my 15-pound weight, and we're going to process this for only 10 minutes. Because this Denali canner is self-venting, it's going to go ahead and do its thing, and then the pressure will start up automatically. I can hear it starting to vent the steam out of it, guys. And what I like about this is that I don't have to, once it starts steaming, come in here and set my timer for 10 minutes and watch it, and then pop my weight back on it, and then start the canning process. This is gonna do it all for me. The venting process is finished. Now the pressure is starting to ramp up as soon as I hit 11 pounds. Now my ball book, guys, says 10 pounds, but I'm going for 11 pounds. As soon as I hit 11 pounds, we're gonna set the timer for 10 minutes. This goes for both pints and quarts, the same amount of time. We have hit the magic number. It's time to set our timer for 10 minutes and adjust your temperature to keep your pressure from continuing to increase. So I'm gonna sit here for a minute, and then I'll bring it down gradually to make sure it stays on 11 pounds, because guys, if you drop below those 10 or 11 pounds, you're gonna have to start all over. So make sure and watch your canner. Don't be afraid to can your fresh vegetables, guys, that you grow on your farm. In fact, we consider it a necessity. Everything that we grow, we want to put on in our pantry to consume in the coming year, and I think we're gonna have plenty of tomatoes this year, thank the Lord. But anyway, don't be afraid to learn how to can, and the Denali canner is great for beginners. You really need to check this out. I'll go ahead and put the link down below, and you can see if it's something that you're interested in. But canning, you can get the whole family involved. You know what you're eating because you grew it, and it's becoming a necessity, guys, and this is actually saving us money. So going back through some of my videos to give you an example, I canned some chicken soup that I can make chicken noodle soup out of. You don't want to can noodles, but I canned some chicken soup, and it was actually less than the canned soup that I can buy, or name brand canned soup that I can buy in the grocery stores. So learning to can your own food will save you money in the long run. It is way healthier for you. You know what you're putting in your family's mouth. You know what's going on your table. And it just gives you a certain amount of self-satisfaction and a little bit of self-sufficiency. So our 10 minutes is up. Now we're just gonna turn off our heat. You're gonna let your canner sit until all the pressure goes down to 0. And if you're using a traditional canner, you wanna wait and make sure that your weight or your little plug in the back drops. The Denali doesn't have one, so we're just gonna wait until it goes off. And another safety feature about this Denali is I can't even take this lid off, can't even begin to take the lid off until there's no more pressure in this pot. See, even though the pressure's down to 0, it will not let me budge this lid. Ooh wee, guys, they shrunk up significantly, so I guess I could have packed them a little tighter. But anyway, so I know there's about 7 or 8 tomatoes in there. After they settle, we'll see how they clear up. But anyway, thank you for watching. Again, don't be afraid to can, guys. Don't be afraid to preserve your own food that you're growing. Thank you guys for watching. Take care. God bless. We'll see you soon.